Munya is a place of hope where people who have well and truly hit rock bottom, like myself, didn't know where to go, didn't know what to do, found it very hard to ask for help. I went to Munya, I was accepted, went through the program. They had sort of different stages of the program, where eventually 9 months, 10 months later, you would graduate from the program, and you were given all the tools and the necessary equipment to change your life. I met some good people. Probably the four most prominent people I met was Bryce and Sue Davies, and John and Helen Allen. You know, they were quite influential on my life there. Because I have no doubts, without, especially Bryce, without Bryce, I think I would have left and gone back to the days of old. I got to the stage where I was finding God again, and through Bryce, Sue and other people there, and I had a great counsellor. You know, he knew where I was coming from, he'd been there and he'd done that. But when I left, that's where it really got tough. I didn't have any contact with my family whatsoever. To be honest with you, they never actually even knew where I was at all, none of them. None of my kids or anything knew where I was. I went out one night on my own. I went up to the local hotel. They had a meal special, and of course I could hear the sounds in the other room, and bang, I was back there. Nothing to do all day. Where did I end up? Pete Pokey and I just had a wow of a time. Then of course the super was running low. I got to the stage I couldn't afford my rent. One day I started cleaning out the place, took a lot of stuff over to the Salvos at Red Hill. And then one Saturday night, the landlord came around, knocked on the door, and I just kept quiet. No TV on, no nothing. So he knocked and knocked. He waited. He called out my name. No. That night, I loaded up what I needed, clothes-wise, everything else. I left everything else there. Then got into my car and bolted. And that's where my life on the street started. You know, fortunately, I had a car. I had a look at accommodation, like boarding houses and that. There's just no way in the world. I mean, my car was the Hilton. All the other money's gone. I was flat, absolutely broke, gone. Just gambled it all away. And I didn't have a penny to my name. And one day I got a phone call from the Salvation Army. And I said, well, no, I didn't make a phone call. He said, no, we're calling you to offer you help. I said, oh, okay. And they explained it and all this. Oh, this is great. Okay. And they said something about Streetlevel. I said, oh, of course, Streetlevel. Why didn't I think of that a long time ago? And then things just fell into place. I ended up with a bed, I ended up with a fridge, I ended up with a TV, I ended up with a couple of old chairs, but you know, the old retro ones and so forth. And you know, it was just and I'm comfortable now. I'm happy with what I've got. I don't focus on what I haven't got. I focus on what I have got today. And that means today I have Streetlevel. The people that have supported me, backed me, have been second to none. And what the most important thing is, what they have taught me is, don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not shameful. It doesn't make you any less of a person. I'd probably pray more than I've ever had. I'm not in front of a poker machine looking up at the sky and saying, thank you, George, thank you, Jesus, you know, because I've scored a big one. But I'm praying like when I got my fridge, when I got all me bits and pieces. Wow, you're a blessing. Thank you. And so forth. When I have a meal now, you know, I can sit down and watch TV and, you know, you look up in the sky and say, yeah, thank you. I do enjoy the sermons. I do pray. I do sing. I do use praise the Lord's name. Yes, I do feel valued. I feel accepted, but more importantly, I do feel loved. I think that's the big one for me. So I walk in that door and I see somebody smile at me, and I return the compliment, you know, with a smile and "G'day Paul" or "G'day Jackie." You know, that's the one. I think that's the big one for me, is the love.